Welcome to Kindle Love Stories. We're here with New York Times bestselling author Susan Mallery. Susan, of course, you're brilliant at writing romance, and your readers love it. What is romance to you?
The thing that I try to bring to the table that I do very specifically is, to me, the heroine has to be unique to the hero. She is not an interchangeable female. She is the one. And it's not just about exclusivity, it's about uniqueness. And I want my readers to feel that, oh, it's them and they're going to be together. I've read romances where I thought, well, in 10 years, they'll be dating again and not each other. And I don't like that feeling. I want to know that when they fall in love, I want to believe down to my bones that it's real. I thought writing would get easier, and it in fact gets harder, which surprised me. Every time I sit down to start a book, I need that book to be better than the book before. In the beginning, it was super easy because I didn't know very much, and I was learning as I wrote. And for those of you who've read me from the beginning, A, thank you, B, I apologize for the initial books. But it is a lot of work. I need to satisfy the reader. I need to have someone I've never met read my book in a circumstance I have no control over. Good day, bad day, late, tired, crying children, stomach flu, chemotherapy. No control over the circumstances. And my job is to take her on this journey and leave her better off at the end. And that's a lot of responsibility. And then I need to do it better than I did it in the last book and the book before. It has to be better. And I think after this many books, the incremental better is harder to find.
Right.
But it is a mandate for me. It must be better.
I've already heard this great story that you had a job all lined up and you took a leap of faith.
I did. Accounting is interesting because it's college, but it's more like trade school than college because you come out with a true skill. And I was recruited and accepted a job and was very excited. We were young and poor, and it seemed like, wow, it was a regular income and health insurance and paid vacation. It was so grown up. And I realized I had to make a decision. I loved the romance writing, but it was scary. So I ended up calling my recruiter. And I told him I wanted to be a romance writer and I wasn't accepting the job. And there was a very long pause. And he came back and said, I write fantasy. I've never had the courage to do anything. I will give you 2 years. And if you don't make it as a writer, you won't have forgotten enough to be, and this is a direct quote, useless to me. I'll hire you back. I like you, I'll hire you back. And I said, okay. And I sold, that was May, I sold in August. And 2 years later, I'd sold 7 books. I called him and said, I'm not coming back. And he said, good for you.
I love that story. And I love that he was supportive. So Susan, you've got this great cookbook.
The cookbook is fun. It was very unexpected.
Yeah, and these are all recipes that are pretty easy to make, right?
Oh yeah, trust me.
And delicious. So what is next for you, Ms. Mallery? I know you've got some Fool's Gold books coming out for us. Tell us about that.
I do. I have a trilogy out this summer, When We Met, Before We Kiss, and Until We Touch. And then there'll be a Christmas book, Yours for Christmas. And what's really fun for me is this year it's football players, former football players. They're all retired. And I like to do that. So one year was Cowboys, then we did bodyguards, and this year it's football players. I know, because they're delicious, and I'm looking forward to it. And I also want to give a shout out to the Seahawks for winning the Super Bowl the same year that my football books are coming out. Very thoughtful of them.
Hey!
I know, they're good guys.
Thank you so much for joining us, Susan. We really enjoyed talking to you.
Well, thank you for having me. I had a good time.
Thank you for joining us on this great chat with Susan Mallery. For more interviews and special content, visit our Facebook page or KindleLoveStories.com.